Alright, so here we are. I have my Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, the Samsung Galaxy A71 in the middle, and this is the LG Stylo 6. They all have SIM cards in them, but this A71, for some reason, I got it as part of the T-Mobile deal, and if you can see there, that SIM for some reason didn't activate, and they didn't activate my new number. And they're taking several days to fix it, which is kind of annoying. I don't need the number, so I guess it's fine. What I do on these tests, some people don't like them, but that's alright. What I'm doing now is really just kind of checking to see, just testing speeds, right? So we're going to do a Wi-Fi speed test on the A71. I'm in the basement of my house. I use Spectrum. I'm in Kentucky. Spectrum is my internet provider. I use Google Wi-Fi routers. They're about that way, probably about 20 feet away. There's a bunch of junk over here where my studio stuff is. So that's a pretty good speed. I mean, in theory, I should be getting 450 or 420 up, but it's pretty good upload speed. So let's test it on the Note 10 Plus. So the Note is also on my Wi-Fi. This is the Note Stylus does not work on the A71. You can see they're about the same size though. And this is the Stylo 6. Alright, so you can see I got worse scores on the Note 10. Brightness up on these. See, auto brightness is not good on LG products, I don't believe. I do believe auto brightness is good. And so the A71 also has a fingerprint sensor. See, like the A71 is set to auto brightness as well, I believe. I don't remember. But it should be, yeah. And so I have to keep manually messing with this one. And it's still not very bright compared to the A71. So, terrible speeds on the Stylo. So let's try the Note 10 Plus and the A71 at the same time. And let's try all three of them at once. But this gives you a good size comparison. All these are both around 6.7 inches, I think. But these are both 6.7 inches. But you can see the Stylo is taller. And then the A71 is wider, which I prefer. And then the Note 10 is really my perfect device. But obviously this phone was over $1,000. This one should be around 600-ish. And this is $250. I got the A71 on the T-Mobile's deal where it's 50% off, so I'm paying like $300, I think, which for that price puts it in contention with these, right? So I also have the REVVLRY Plus, which is like $350, and it's an excellent device, but screen-wise it doesn't compare. So we moved on to this one, which did not perform well on our speed test. It's certainly not performing well on our speed test now. Testing all these three at once. There's no scientific ness behind this. I'm just kind of doing some real world tests here, right? This is how I would, this is my house, this is where I test, this is where I'm used to things running. So that gives you just a vague idea of how they perform. But it's consistently performing better than the other devices. It is newer, so that may help it, but I mean, it's just an all-around better device than the Stylo 6. Again, the Stylo 6 is half price of this, less than half the price of it. But alright, so now let's take the Stylo and the Note. We're going to put them both on LTE. So you can see this is a 4G phone. This is a 4G phone. I had the 5G Note 10, but I returned it. There were some issues with that one, but I think they probably resolved them now with the 5Gs for these guys. So let me also test. Let me go to fast.com while we're here. So this device is still on Wi-Fi. These two are on 4G. As you can see, substantially better speeds on the Note. So this is about what I expect for my area. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. Again, I'm in the basement of my house. Usually somewhere between 40 and 60 is what I get testing 4G speeds. So this is kind of disappointing. And again, without the other two devices competing, we're getting really good Wi-Fi speeds again on the Stylo, on the A71. These are both on 4G. This is on Wi-Fi. I'm going to move the SIM over as part of this, of course, but for now we're just testing. I only have 2 SIM cards. This one's not activated yet, so I have to swap them around. So the Stylo seems to get consistent speeds, but not as good speeds. Well, there's some variance in the Note 10. It's worth noting, so this A71, I don't know if you watched the unboxing video, it does have a headphone jack. It does not have wireless charging. It's very similar to the Note 10 Plus, which I'm a huge fan of. Alright, so let me go ahead and power this guy off. See, it looks just like a regular Samsung. I mean, I'm a big fan of this phone. I'm liking it a lot so far. So we're going to power that one off. And then let's test The Note 10 Plus. We'll go to fast.com for LTE speeds again. So we powered that guy off. We're going to power the Stylo off. This is a much heavier phone. I think it has a bigger battery. It's a lot thicker as well. I don't know if that comes across. So now I'm going to take my SIM out of the LG Stylo 6. Turn it back on. So that's not a good LTE speed for the Note 10 Plus. I don't know what's going on there. And we'll open up the A71. Take that SIM that didn't work out. So now we're booting up the A71. We'll test this guy again. The screen on the A71 is really good looking. It's back on Wi-Fi. So again, Note 10 is on LTE. This guy over here is on Wi-Fi. Let me turn the Wi-Fi off. So now this you can see there it has a 5G signal. So you can see it shows 5G there. And let's go ahead and we'll do our first 5G speed test. Wi-Fi, 4G, and hopefully 5G. Although here it doesn't say 5G, so there is 5G in my city, but in my basement currently it may not be picking it up. And of course this is the first test on this one, so I don't believe the SIM card makes a difference. This is the SIM that came with the phone. It was not working, so I'll put in the same SIM that was previously in the Stylo. Let's run a couple more tests and see how it goes. Currently the first test goes to the Note 10. Now again, well, second test we're coming on pretty strong here, right? So it does say 5G here, but this test does not look like it's showing LTE. This will change to 5G if it is actually a 5G signal it's picked up on. So the LTE is beating my Wi-Fi speeds here, even though my Wi-Fi speed should be way higher than that. Alright, so let's try again. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to airplane mode real quick. And then turn it back on. See when it reconnects, if it maybe picks up a 5G signal. I don't know if that's how it works, but I'm just trying things here, right? All right, so let's try fast.com and see if that makes a difference. So not particularly great speeds, but they're not bad speeds, right? So I mean, no one's gonna complain about 26 megs down. I mean, I guess you could complain, but you shouldn't. So let's test this guy again. So now we're getting 52. This is pretty good. 53, very good. 54, 57, up to 58. So that was refreshing SIM data. So I'm gonna try one more test, and then look at this, we're getting up to 71. This is 4G. This is not 5G here, so you can tell it's not a 5G phone for one. It's also, you can just tell right here. So let's test it again. Also, I got the OtterBox. It says 5G compatible, designed for Samsung. SYMMETRY. I ordered this directly from T-Mobile. It's available on Amazon too, but I thought it was odd that they only sold a clear case, and then I realized that's probably our best speed yet. Then I realized it's because its back has this fancy coloring. It does show a lot of fingerprints. Alright, we'll do one more for this one. Still 32. So we'll put it in the OtterBox. It's a fairly tight fit in this OtterBox. So yeah, it's a pretty snug fit in the OtterBox. I think it should be pretty protected. And we'll just run some more tests just to make sure the OtterBox doesn't impact the speed any. So it's actually one of our better speed tests on this app. So let's go one more just to see if it hits that 5G number. So it doesn't appear to hit 5G, but we're still getting good speeds. Alright, again, I'm in my basement, so we're going to try this in other areas. It is quarantined, so I'm not really going to a lot of places, but I will try to get out and about and run a test outside the house to see if I can hit that 5G. It appears to be showing 5G. I'm recording the screen. It doesn't appear to get great 5G speeds, but we are on 5G. So, but it's still inside my house. Alright, so now it is, the date is July 16th. We're still in the living room, screen recording. We're going to see if we get better 5G. Now it is, of course, 11 p.m. So in theory, we'd be less congested. There we go. Now we're getting some decent speeds. Still nothing spectacular. Not necessarily better than my 4G content, but it's not that abysmal speeds we had earlier. So, alright. So, you can see, again, we're not leaving the house very much, so it's hard to get out and test this thing as much, but we're getting still pretty good speeds. So overall, the phone, I think we're a big fan of it. I'm going to go ahead and sell the Stylo 6 and the REVVLRY Plus because we'll be keeping this one. Alright, we're still recording the screen. We still haven't left the house. So it is July 18th now. Running a speed test. My old T-Mobile Note 10 Plus 5G did the same thing where it shows 5G up in the top right, but then when you do actual speed tests, it's just 4G. It's a little deceptive. I think it should show 4G or 5G based on what your connection is up in the top corner there. So again, solid speeds. You know, even though it's this 5G phone, the way T-Mobile's 5G works, you're not getting those crazy speeds they advertise on Verizon. Is more meant to just provide better coverage and a little bit uptick in speed. Now you can see our results. We're getting pretty consistently good speeds on LTE, and that one there on July 16th was a decent speed on 5G. Not as good as LTE. As you can see, yesterday we had 63 and 65. So, you know, overall pretty good speeds. I don't know when I'm going to leave the house. So I work from home, and then I just don't have any. I'm not going to just drive around just to test the speed. So there you go. You can see the speeds. Looks pretty good. All right. Thanks for checking us out. Leave me some comments, questions. We like this phone a lot.